All right, we'll call this Board of Education meeting to order. It is 5 p.m. and we have a quorum because we have a full house. Thank you to everyone for coming. I need a vote to approve the minutes from last meeting. Do we have a motion for that?
I make a motion to approve meetings from last.
All right, Mr. Spivey has made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Burns has made a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And that's unanimous. Thank you. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
All right, Ms. Hanson has made a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Mr. Spivey has made a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you. Do we have a motion for closed session?
I make a motion to go in closed session.
All right. Mr. McPherson, do you have the,
I do,
all right.
happily. I move that the board enter into closed session, subject to the advice from the attorney pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318, 11A1 and A6 to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel information under General Statute 115C 319 and to consider matters related to personnel matters. The board will also enter into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318, 11A3 to consult with the board's attorney in order to preserve the attorney-client's privilege, to consider confidential student matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143-318A1 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 U.S.C. 123G and North Carolina General Statute 115C 402.
All right, Mr. Spivey, do you agree with that motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Spivey has made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Reeves has seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. So we are in closed session. Thank you. He's coming. Oh, tell me. Here he is. Yep, let's go. We live? All right, we'll call the meeting back to order then. From closed session, do we have a motion to approve the HR report from closed session?
Make a motion to come out of closed session and to approve the HR report.
All right, Ms. Burns has made a motion for both items. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Spivey has seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous for both items. All right. We have, Bob, would you do our recognitions? We have North Topsail, correct?
Pledge.
The North Topsail Elementary Chorus to do the pledge, the national anthem, as well as one additional song, and they are presenting that via video.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Aiken, would you come up and do our prayer? I'd like to welcome Garner Akins. Garner, would you tell us, for those that don't know, that you're the assistant principal at Pender High and the pastor of Shiloh Baptist, that kind of thing?
Yes, sir, that's me. That's me. In a nutshell. Lived here my whole life, want to fight about it? Somebody didn't get that joke like John Wayne Billy. Thank you all for this. Been asked to be able to open up the board meetings in prayer, and it's a very big honor, and I'm very thankful for that, and that they've been trusted for me to do that. I do beg your forgiveness and understanding that after I pray, I do need to leave because I am the athletic director, and we do have senior night against East Duplin, and I may need to get back there fairly quickly. But if I want to stay married 21 years after next year. But Mr. Chairman, thank you so much, Madam Vice Chair as well, board members, Cabinet, Dr. Breedlove, thank you so much for this. And I love February. It's that gateway month between the winter and the spring. And I love February because just the theme of love. And I just thank y'all for this. And I know that you love what you do. And we love that you're serving people greater than even what we can even be able to understand. And I know that it's a very thankless job in many ways, and I can't even begin to imagine the time spent behind the shadows of life and the headaches that you care, but thank you so much for serving us. And if you would, let's bow as we open up. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the time that we have to just come here and assemble. We just give you the praise, honor, and glory that is due you first and foremost. And Heavenly Father, I just thank you, every single person that's here, under the sound of my voice, Lord, specifically those that are in positions of influence and decision-making. I pray, first of all, for the safety of this building, that you'll just keep your loving hand of protection over us, Lord, as they tend to the business that is best fitted for this county. I pray that you'll guide them with wisdom, with peace, with understanding. Lord, we thank you for their service. We thank you for, Lord, just their ability to come and make those difficult decisions. And Heavenly Father, we just pray that we just give them grace and understanding to know that they're dealing with the best that they know how. And we just praise you. We thank you. Be with this meeting. And we ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Akins, I think I can speak for the whole board in thanking you for doing this for us every month. I know that I appreciate it, and I think everyone else here does too. So thank you. All right, recognitions.
So we have 3 different recognitions tonight. We're going to start with Sophia Foster, who was a beginning teacher at Burgaw Middle. Back in December, Ms. Foster found out that she was a finalist for the State Beginning Teacher of the Year Award. So we have a representation from the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching. One of those folks is our own Lisa Godwin, who was the 2017 North Carolina Teacher of the Year. Still with us and still helping beginning teachers. So she is here to help, and I will ask Lisa, did Rick make it? Okay, so Rick Stroud is a board chair for the NCAAT. Unable to make it, Lisa said he was on his way from New Bern, so we know how traffic is getting to our part of the county. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Godwin to talk about the accomplishments of Ms. Foster.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair Hall, Dr. Breedlove, board members, cabinet members, and guests. I'm Lisa Godwin. I'm one of the beginning teacher coaches here in Pender County, and I'm going to ask my fellow coaches to come up, Lindsay Paquette and Jessica Harvey, who is our new BT coach, which maybe you haven't met her yet, so we welcome her. I'm here, though, in a different capacity. I'm actually here as a representative for NCAT, as being one of their board members. I would also at this time like to invite Ms. Sophie Foster to come forward and join us. On behalf of the North Carolina Center for Advancement of Teaching, it's our privilege to announce that Sophie Foster, a 6th grade English language arts teacher at Burgaw Middle School, has been selected as a finalist for the NCAT 2026 Burroughs Welcome Fund North Carolina Beginning Teacher of the Year Award. This recognition celebrates Ms. Foster's outstanding contributions as a beginning teacher and the meaningful impact she is already making on her students and the broader community here in Pender County. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Brian Allen, who is our principal at Burgaw Middle School. her mentor, Jill Thomas, who is here today as well, Melissa Wilson, who wasn't able to be with us tonight, but is our BT coordinator for Pender County Schools and just supports everything that we do with Ms. Foster. I'd also like to thank just the NCAT Board of Trustees for making this available to all of our beginning teachers across the state. The Beginning Teacher of the Year Award was created to recognize the creativity, the resilience, and commitment of first-year teachers. And this is a year one award, so only BTs that were in their first year of service are allowed to participate in this. And there are over 7,000 new educators who step into our classrooms statewide. So this award shines a light on those who rise to the challenge and who are the very best in the profession. And that is definitely Sophie. Sophie is going to be attending a week of leadership-focused professional development with fellow finalists in March, where interviews and portfolio review will be conducted by a panel of judges from across the state to determine the next Beginning Teacher of the Year. We're hoping it's so. I think it's right. And just to let you know, I have nothing to do as a board member with the Beginning Teacher process because I am a coordinator for a district. So this is purely it had nothing to do with me being a part of Pender County Schools and being on the board. So on March 12th, NCAT will celebrate all finalists and announce the winner at a recognition event at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem. At NCAT, we are committed to advancing teaching as an art and as a profession, and we're thrilled to celebrate Ms. Foster as a shining example of this mission. So I'm going to congratulate her, but I would love to give her an opportunity to say a few words if she would like.
That'd be awesome. And I'll stand this way.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I stand this way. Yeah, I was considering what to say because it's truly an honor to be recognized in this way. And the first thought that came to mind was Burgall Middle School and teaching has changed my life. I, in high school, set out to be a nurse, and then I took a journey in college and it changed that pathway. And agreeing to work at Burgall Middle School was one of the best decisions that I ever made. My principal, he is the best leader that I could be led by. I bring him dreams, I bring him my goals and my excitements, and he just roots me on. He has been a wonderful leader to be led by. And she mentioned Ms. Thomas as well. Ms. Thomas has become my best friend. She's wonderful, and she also just supports me in all of the dreams and all of the visions that I have for my students. And a long time ago, when I came into my faith with the Lord, I was really inspired by a verse, and it said, "Do not seek your own profit, seek the profit of others." And teaching has allowed me to really soak in that, to seek their profit, to seek their profit. And I get to come in the classroom every day. And I've never had a bad day at Burgall Middle School. Like, I love going to work. Like, love it. I'm like, I want to stay late because I love it. I'm not telling people to do that, but I really like to be at the school. I've never had a bad day at Burgall Middle School, and I get to come in to the classroom, and I get to love learning with my kids, and I get to pour into them. And I feel like I'm giving them a tiny bit of the world, and I get to put in a little bit of world in them so they can go out and change the world. So teaching, best decision ever, and I'm honored to go March the 9th through the 12th to NCAT, and no matter what happens, it's just been a blessing to make it this far. So, and my wonderful coaches as well. Love them so much. So thank you, everyone, especially my leaders.
I would like for Brian to come up and also for Jill to come. And I think you all now see what a blessing she is and how wonderful she is and why she is our representative. So let's congratulate her for this outstanding accomplishment.
Maybe not here. There's no steps in there for me, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations. So now we have Ms. Nowlin, our CFO, is here to recognize some of her folks who have recently made a pretty good accomplishment of their own, passing. Is this a necessary requirement that they have to, a hurdle they have to get over?
It is necessary for Pender County Schools. Pender County Schools invest in our people to make sure that they have the tools that they need to perform their job duties. So whenever we do have new treasurers come on board, they're required to go to this training, which gives them a leg up above anybody else because it actually tells them what North Carolina laws that they have to follow to keep up with their principles, like Mr. Allen over there, and with the money. So I first want to say that it's not very often we get new treasurers. Pender County Schools is a place that everybody wants to work. We have seasoned employees, and we are very blessed to have the staff that we have. We just recently got three new ones, and maybe one more that's getting ready to go through this. And to say that they've just walked in, and it's like they've been here forever. I don't know if we have the magic unicorn of hiring, but we are very blessed to have seasoned staff that love Pender County and do a phenomenal job. So NCASBO is the North Carolina Association of School Business Officials. So they train each treasurer the standards for North Carolina so that they can come in and hit the ground running. So the first person, Mary Garland. Thank you, Mary. You want to just stand up here? The next person is not a school treasurer. She's our new internal auditor, Frances Matthews. It's very important to know that Frances came from ISD instruction, and she came into this position and she oversees the school treasurers, so she wanted to go to this class with them. So that shows the kind of dedication we have in our employees. Miss Letitia Key. And Miss Janet Savage. So I do want to mention Sherry Sanderson and Rebecca, who stand up real quick. They're part of our wonderful finance team. I just want to let you know, I'm so proud to be part of this group at Pender County Schools. We do have the best finance department, and that includes our treasurers in the state. And I put it hands down over anybody else. So thank you guys for all the hard work, and we know we're going to have wonderful things moving forward.
Thank you.
Well, board members, come in. One, two, three. Awesome, thank you. Ms. Nowlin gets a separate award for her shoes tonight, by the way. And then, so our final award of the night has been one that is well overdue, just because of, we had some weather issues, we had some travel issues. So Penny Wolf come up, she's from Heidi Trask High School. Tony Hudson is here, the principal of Tri-D Trask. Craig Lawson will come out. So if you're not aware of this, we have one Spark Lab in our district, and it is housed at Heidi Trask High School. Ms. Wolf is in charge of the Spark Lab there. And through the Spark Lab, I guess there was a competition through Apple, to which your kids did extremely well,
Yes, they did.
and it's yours to make.
Okay. So the Apple app showcase, Apple offered them up a prompt to create an app on teen mental health. I had all of my block classes divided into teams, and they all went and tested out and designed a prototype of an app, which would be the user interface, user exchange of the app. So we did this on Keynote, an Apple product. If you're not familiar, slides, PowerPoint, but Apple's version. So they created that. They got that in October. By the end of October, we ran our competition. I had guidance counselors come on in and help score them, and these gentlemen were selected. I sent that video on to the State Spark, and they were selected to be one of 5 finalists. So through some weather, we should have been able to go to Raleigh in December, but it got postponed, and not everybody's scheduled the same, so they picked the end of January, and we almost got knocked out of that, but it held off till the 1st. And we made it up there Friday, January 30th. They presented. Their app is just incredibly beautiful. Steven Johnson from Apple visited today and could not stop talking about it. They received the honor of Best in Art and in Code. We have Harper Hockelman. They have done an outstanding job of representing Spark and Pender County and Heidi Trask. I could not be more proud of what they have put together, and when they were pitching in front of Apple execs and folks from UNCG, ECU, it was awesome. They did a great job.
Good picture of the other. Okay, well, board members, are y'all gonna, are you gonna demonstrate the app?
We didn't bring that. I had sent some slides, but we're good. I didn't know if y'all.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Awesome, thank y'all.
I know.
All right, at this time, we are going to move into our public comment period. And Mr. McPherson, would you read the statement and the names of the people that have signed up?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
The Pender County Board of Education welcomes the opportunity to hear from the public during the regularly scheduled meetings. The public comment period is open to all members of the community, including parents and students, to express compliments, concerns, or complaints regarding the performance of school personnel, the implementation of board policy, the quality of the education program, or school facilities. In accordance with Policy 2310, presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Obscene, vulgar, or profane statements and statements reasonably perceived to be disruptive or eminently threatening to the orderly operation of the meeting shall not be permitted. We have our first public commenter, Lucy Roy.
And welcome.
Thank you for allowing me to give a public comment. Thank you, dear board members and Dr. Breedlove, sorry. I am again expressing my concern regarding the currently adopted 26-27 school year calendar, which was approved in a manner inconsistent with applicable state laws. As I stated in a previous board meeting, and in a written letter to each of you, according to NC General Statute 115C-84.2D, quote, traditional public schools cannot start earlier than the Monday closest to August 26th and must end no later than the Friday closest to June 11th, end quote. All proposed calendar changes must undergo public notice, proper posting, and an opportunity for public input prior to formal adoption. Those procedural steps were either insufficiently fulfilled or completely omitted, and the current calendar law was ignored during your calendar approval process. The adoption of a school calendar directly impacts students, families, district employees, as well as local businesses, and should therefore be handled with full transparency, community engagement, and legal compliance. By not following established procedures, the board risks undermining public trust and potential legal action. A law firm in Raleigh that has been involved with several lawsuits against school boards in North Carolina concerning school calendar dates has been contacted. This firm has not lost a case concerning school year calendars. I have a petition with over 100 signatures from Pender County business owners and parents opposing this calendar. It is your duty as elected officials to follow the laws set forth by our state. The community deserves assurance that decisions of this magnitude are made lawfully and with open participation. I appreciate your immediate attention to this matter and look forward to your response outlining the steps you will take to resolve these concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Heather Allen.
Hello, it's been a while since I've been here. I'm here tonight because a few moms reached out to me. They were a little concerned about a teacher. I think this teacher actually won a pretty big award last year. I guess there's a mom's forum on social media, and what was sent to me was a post that a teacher put. I'll read it verbatim. It's an open letter to a certain agency and their agents. It says, I hope you know the cruelty you carry out today will find its way back to your children, which is a little concerning when it's a teacher saying this. Small skeletons are already bending under the weight of your orders, that the badge will outlive the man, not his silence, that you will come home in uniform, find your child afraid of your hands. I hope you know teachers should earn more than you do. It goes on to say, your mother is not proud to look into the mirror. And it says, no child will ever grow up wanting to become you. So I 100% support First Amendment. Obviously, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. But I think it's when you post to like a specific mom's forum where you know that parents are going to be reading this and, you know, moms are reading this and seeing what she's putting out there. I just think it's a little tasteless. And just knowing that like parents and people are in our community, our tax dollars goes to their salary. And I just feel like it's a little disparaging. And we just want to send our kids to school where teachers, you know, we don't have to worry about them being open about like how we don't want the kids to turn into their parents. So I told the people that I would come here and speak on behalf of them. And that's all. Thanks for listening.
One moment, please. Mr. Chair, may I? Hi, Miss Allen.
Hi.
Have you been to administration about this? Have you taken this to administration?
No, this is my first time coming here.
Okay.
At the school,
Yes.
at
Um,
whatever school that this person works?
I'm sorry, it was implied. Have you've not taken this to school
No,
administration?
no, I haven't.
Would you do me a favor and tomorrow morning take this to school administration and let's get this started from within the building?
Which administration do I go to?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Whatever
Yeah,
school it is.
whichever-
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I could do that.
Do you know which school?
I can find out.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Do you have our email addresses here too?
Right.
They're on the website.
do.
If
Yes,
you don't mind, would you let all 5 of us know
absolutely.
Yes.
by email?
Yep. Okay.
And I'm not pushing you off, Miss Allen. I just want to make sure that this goes the right way. And I want to see something done.
Yeah.
If there is something to be done, I want to see it
Okay.
done.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
'Cause
thank you
We
all.
have standards.
And if you'll email us, we can respond better
Okay. Great.
than we can here with public comment, but.
Okay. I just thought it'd be
What was that? Yeah,
Heather Allen. Yeah. Heather Allen. Yeah. I just thought should be brought to someone's attention.
but yeah, if you have, if you email us, we can send you in the right direction
Okay.
as
Perfect.
well.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have 2 call-ins, I believe, is that right?
That's correct, Mr. Chair. So call-in number 3, Mr. Lawson.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Sarah Ware. I am the current PTA president at North Topsail Elementary, a second-year member of the Superintendent's Advisory Council, and a participant in last year's Strategic Planning Committee. I share that not for credentials, but to be clear that I've spent years listening carefully to educators, administrators, and families across Pender County. Through those experiences, one thing has become increasingly clear. While our superintendent and principals are supported by advisory teams and councils, the Board of Education is not. I urge you to consider establishing a diverse advisory group made up of parents, educators, and community members from across the county. A structure like this would allow for informed dialogue, proactive problem solving, and shared ownership of our district's direction before issues escalate. I also believe we must rethink how community input is gathered. 3-minute public comment periods are not conducive to meaningful conversations. I strongly encourage the board to consider hosting town halls and roundtable forums throughout the county. Meeting families where they are will lead to better understanding, fewer assumptions, and far less speculation and online hostility. Productive dialogue thrives in spaces designed for listening, not just reacting. Finally, as we look forward, we must move beyond rhetoric about pre-COVID standards. Our teachers are the experts in their classrooms. If we expect progress, we must trust them by giving them flexibility to adapt an already 2-year-old curriculum and by restoring instructional practices such as transitions between subjects that support student learning and development. My hope is simple, that we commit to transparency, collaboration, and mutual respect. I look forward to a future of meaningful, two-way conversations that truly serve the students and families of Pender County. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Mr. Lawson, I believe we have one more call-in.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Stephen White, and I am a parent in Pender County. I'm calling regarding the decision to amend next year's school calendar. I want to start by saying that I support strong education and high expectations for our students. I understand the desire to improve outcomes and maximize instructional time. However, I'm deeply concerned that the calendar change advances those goals at the direct expense of our teachers without adequate consideration, compensation, or support. By starting the school year earlier than the state laws allow, and exceeding the minimum required number of school days, you are effectively asking teachers to work more days for the same pay. At a time when teacher burnout, retention, and morale are already serious challenges, this sends the wrong message. Teachers are being stretched thinner, and this decision adds to that strain without offering meaningful relief. That strain is even greater when combined with other choices the district has made. On the eastern side of the county in particular, there has been a refusal to budget for appropriate levels of in-class support. This creates an imbalance between schools and places even more responsibility on classroom teachers to differentiate instruction and meet student needs, again, without additional resources or time. At the same time, the district continues to rely heavily on testing. Excessive testing reduces actual instructional time, yet it is being cited as justification for adding more school days. If instructional time is the concern, we should be looking first at what is taking away from teaching and learning, not simply extending the calendar. I urge the board to reconsider this decision, at a minimum, directly address its impact on teachers. That means acknowledging the additional workload, ensuring equitable staffing and support across the county, and being honest about how district priorities like testing contribute to the problem you're trying to solve. Our teachers are not an unlimited resource. If we want better outcomes for students, we must also take care of the people doing the work every day in our classrooms. Thank you for your time and for listening.
All right. Thank you very much. Dr. Breedlove, what do you have for us?
Well, good evening, board members. It is nice to look out at a week and put last week behind us as the storms have moved away, and today was a very nice day out there. So, yeah, looking at a full week of school as something that was well received this week. I do have a couple of celebrations, though, that I want to start us off with tonight. Last week, even though most of our days were taken away due to the snow and virtual, last week was our school counseling week. And it's a time that's set aside to celebrate and honor the incredible impact, bless you, all right, of our school counselors and what they have on our students and our families and staff across Pender County Schools. Even though many of our counselors spent the week supporting students from home during the virtual schedule, their care and dedication never wavered. Every day, our counselors guide students through academic planning, educational challenges, college and career readiness, and so many personal milestones. They are often the first to listen, the first to notice when students need encouragement, and the ones who help families find the right path forward. Their ability to lead with empathy, professionalism, and heart makes a lasting difference on the lives of every child that they serve. To all of our school counselors, thank you for the steady support, the tireless commitment, and the genuine care that you bring to our schools. We are deeply proud of you and grateful for the work that strengthens the entire Pender County Schools family. Also, want to recognize this week as Here Comes the Bus Week. And it's a moment for us to honor our bus drivers, the ones who are the first smiling faces many students see each morning, and the last ones to wish them well at the end of the day. Our drivers do far more than transport students safely. They build relationships, they provide consistency, and embody the care that defines our school community. Whether it's greeting students on dark, cold mornings, managing challenging routes with patience, or ensuring safety in every mile traveled, our bus drivers are the heroes on wheels. Their commitment ensures that learning begins and ends the day with kindness, reliability, and respect. To all of our Pender County Schools bus drivers, thank you for your dedication and service. We are proud to celebrate you this week and every week for the vital role that you play in the success of our students and our school system. We'll also add to the end of that just a plug that we would, if you would like to join our team of great bus drivers, we are accepting applications, and that is, we have a great team, and it's a great place to work, and we have a great transportation department that does amazing things each and every day. So, yes, I wanted to put that plug in because Pender County Schools is an awesome place to work. A couple of upcoming items for board meetings right here on Tuesday, February the 24th at 9:30 a.m. is our committee of the whole. And then also scheduled, our next board meeting is on March the 10th, right here, 5 p.m. starts. The regular Board of Education meeting with closed session followed by a 6 o'clock start on March the 10th. Upcoming individual school items, February the 20th at 11 a.m. We have the J.H. Lee topping out ceremony at the new school site. And I say that because how fast time has gone. And this, what a topping out ceremony is it's the last structural beam on that school will be set that day. And so, yeah, we are entering the final stretches, if you want to call it that, as we open up that school in August of 2027, and it's moving quickly. Also, Friday, February the 27th, we do have Job Shadow Day here in Pender County Schools that our students go and they job shadow across Pender County. And Pender County Schools is one organization that we have several students job shadowing that want to be teachers and also administrators one day. And then lastly, on Thursday, March the 5th, we do have our bus driver banquet board. You are invited to that. That's at Heidi Trask High School at 6 p.m. to come out and recognize our bus drivers and celebrate with them on all the great things that they do. So at this time, board members, this concludes the superintendent's report. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Breedlove. All right, that brings us to our information agenda. Bordeaux update, Dr. Grimm.
Yes, good evening, Board. And Dr. Breedlove, he said it all. It's so fun being part of the J.H. Lee team and working with them and seeing the progress. I mean, it's amazing. It's a really big building, and it's going up fast. So with that, I just want to have Ben Warren come up and give his bi-monthly update.
Evening, Board, staff, Dr. Breedlove. I brought Gabe Price with me, our on-site project manager. I believe most of you have met him. How you doing? Good to see you all. Excited to provide another update. As always, feel free to interrupt us at any time if you have any questions or if you want me to speed up or slow down or elaborate on anything. All right, so we have removed a few things out of the update. So what we'll focus on is where we are, project status, schedule. We started doing a 2-month look ahead, I believe, at the last update. So we'll spend some more time on kind of painting a picture on what we'll be discussing, where the project will be at our next update, a snapshot of the budget, and then we'll jump into Q&A. So here's our site. This is kind of where I always like to start off. Here's 210, and this is before we started work out there, and here is where we are on January the 21st. I wish that these aerials aligned to make this quite a bit easier because, as you all know, the site, the progress out there really moves fast, and these aerials have changed quite a bit in just a few weeks. Looking here, we've got this whole side of the site here is where our ball fields, bus parking, and sports parking are. We actually have all of the asphalt down, or at least the base layer of asphalt on what we call the loop road that runs around here, on the bus parking, and on the athletic parking in the roads here. So this entire side of the site has all the initial asphalt down. In addition, it's not shown in these pictures, but you'll see some of the drone shots that we put up. You will see that. The queuing lane that runs all the way around here. Again, this is the entrance where everyone queues for drop-off and pickup. this queuing lane has also been paved as well. You know, so it really works, you know, to get these things done to make the overall job smaller. We can get the curb in, we can start getting sidewalks in, and that's really, you know, where our effort has been, gives us the ability to really push on some of the rough ends that may not seem critical to some of the subcontractors. It's like, hey, we're getting the curb, we're getting the pavement in, you got to get all your electrical rough in so we can get, you know, all of our site lighting and all that stuff in, which we like to get as early as possible because it helps us with security. And this is just looking at it from the other direction. So again, 210's up here. We have the middle school is the closest to 210, and the elementary school is here. And as I've described in previous updates, we started with the center of the school, so that's administration for both middle and elementary. We've got the center of the main gymnasium, multi-purpose, and the kitchen cafeteria is back in here. And so you can see we've got the roof completed here. This green board here is indicative of all the framing, sheathing, and then spray foam insulation goes on it. And then you can see on the high-low roofs, we've got the brickwork in place. So we want to, you know, get the brick done and then the roofs follow so we're not working off of it. And we're making really good headway. So we moved from these central wings to the middle school. You can see we've got same thing going on, right? We're moving in that direction. We've got framing, sheathing, brick. The roof is actually going on this classroom wing here, which is A, B, C, D, E wing. D wing has the structural decking on it now, which is, can't really see that picture that well, but it's not there in this one. And then likewise, we have steel erection going on in G wing here right now. We have the roof half complete in F wing, again on the middle school side. And we're working on masonry here on our last classroom wing. So we're quickly approaching the completion of the structure. And when I say structure, that's structural masonry, structural steel. You know, we move into really facade, which is, yes, there's some structural framing, but sheathing, brickwork, windows follows the brickwork, and roofing is kind of preceding that. And then we have, you know, at the school in the dry, we're no longer affected by all the snow that we also had to deal with out there. And so all this is an exciting stage of the job because you move into these controlled environments where you're really able to man up the job, spread out through the various wings, and, you know, move toward finishes. So it's a pretty big deal. And so again, I just like to kind of put the plan shot there, right, to mirror this aerial. And you can really see it coming together. These are some drone shots a little bit after those aerials that are taken from an airplane. These are taken from a drone on site. It was actually the morning of our last structural concrete pour. So that's what these trucks and this lighting is doing is this is our H wing. So again, this is the elementary school wing or side where we are ultimately going to finish, right? We started on here to middle school and then we're working our way out of the building, the structure. And so we're finishing masonry here in the next day or two on G classroom wing, and then steel goes on it. And masonry is underway now or in the coming days on H wing, and this is where our topping out will take place. Our last structural beam is actually being installed right here. So when, you know, at the end of next week, when we all meet up out there, this is kind of where you'll see where we set this steel out and really work out of the structure. It's hard to see in these photos, but the asphalt is down here. You can kind of see where the water's pooling. So asphalt all over this side of the project. So it's great to see, kind of protects it from the weather, you know, protects that stone base, and it's pretty good place to be. It's a little bit closer. We're actually pouring the concrete here, and this is a daytime shot where we have this entire G classroom wing elevated concrete deck in place, and now we're able to work off of it. As far as systems in the building, this is actually a photo from last time. There's just more of it. I mean, we are really cruising with plumbing, mechanical, electrical, fire protection throughout primarily the first floors and any second floor wing where we have the roof on. We're able to move into those areas. Most of the equipment at this time is in its place. So talking about, boilers, chillers, pumps, and all of our mechanical rooms, a lot of them we try to get painted out dried, painted, and get our equipment in place, because once we get that in place, all the rough ends to them, it's hard to get back and really finish them. We take a lot of pride in that, and really having these rooms that have a lot going on in their utility, but still, if you plan them right, you can really have them finished out and a showpiece of your system, because that's what is really kind of the heart of the building itself. And I have several more photos. It's tough to see with the light, but a lot of the air handlers in these rooms, a lot of the rough ends, there's a lot of work that goes into these small spaces. And we've shown some of the BIM coordination that happens to plan all this out, prefabricate, and get everything tied in and neat. So again, there's mechanical, electrical rooms throughout this building, and so I'm trying to just give some snapshots of various, areas in the building. Because again, most of the equipment is where it's going to live for the lifetime of the building at this point. It's a really good progress with the systems. So snapshot of all that, all the structural concrete is complete. The structural masonry and steel only remains to be completed on the second level of the elementary school sides. So that's G and H wings. Roofing for the entire building is 35% complete, and window installation will start this week, or this month, February. I mentioned the paving. Off-site sewer design is complete. We will have in front of you all the proposal to reconcile the allowance for the sewer line extension for your next board meeting. The memorandum of understanding, which is basically the agreement between Pender County and Pender County Schools, will go in front of the Board of Commissioners at the next meeting, which I believe is next week. And then we should be off to the races to be able to start this sewer extension. It's been a long road to get where we are on that. And the off-site roadway design, we have heard from the district engineer's office that the design is approved. We're just waiting for the routing of the permit package through the district engineer's office. We were hoping to receive it by the end of last week. Now, fingers crossed for this week. We've already publicly advertised the project. We have 3 pre-qualified bidders for the roadway improvements, so the turn lanes, the signaling, all that happens at 210. And as soon as we get that permit package, we should be able to advertise it to bid within a week, and then we usually allow about 3 weeks for those initial bids to come in. So those are 2 pretty big things that I come in every couple of months and I talk about with seemingly little progress, but we did have to do full designs on both of those things after the initial GMP. So it's been a long road to get those designed through permitting, and ultimately signed off on by AHJs. We are currently on schedule. We've just recently passed the 50% time. I think we're looking at 15 months now to substantial completion, and then 17 to final. So time is flying, and but the job's in a really good place, and we're as excited about it as Dr. Breedlove, and looking forward to having you all out again next week for sure. All right, Gabe.
All right, 2-month look ahead. Ben went over some of this, but I just want to highlight a couple of things that you can expect from us next time we come up here. Like Ben was saying, the off-site sewer extension, it's going to go all the way from the school down to 17 through the woods. So it's going to take us some time, but we're excited to break ground, hopefully here soon once we hear back from the MOU. The roadway improvements, we're widening that road to have a turn lane in, because 210 can get kind of congested already. And now with such a big school, it's going to get even more. So this turn lane is going to help the parents drop off their students a lot easier, get to that giant queuing lane in the back. And then we're also including with our storm drainage, just trying to get water off the site. Like Ben was saying, all the structural masonry and steel erection will be completed, which then will allow us to put the roof on the building. Once the roof is on, it's going to really help us move along with the project, and people can work now on the second floor as well. Framing and sheathing will be completed in 2 months in the middle school section. That's the section closest to the road. And then we'll be starting in F and G wings at elementary school. Almost complete by then. It'll only be H, that back part of the school. Brick veneer will also be complete, and the wings A through F. And once we have those in, we can then put in the window assemblies following the brick veneer. So when you're driving down 210 and you're going towards 17, look to the right, you're going to see a lot of changes in the school. That's that middle school portion right there. That'll be changing a lot. And then we'll have the HVAC equipment in place and overhead rough-ins wrapping up in A through F wings. So here is our BIM and Oculo. So every Tuesday, I have the honor of walking through the whole building with my compatriot, Paul Hawk. We'll walk through the whole building with a camera on our head to scan every bit of it. So it takes.
How long does that take now
it's
that you have all the area?
2.5 hours total. It's only going to get longer because we have to go inside each room and out. Right now, there's no wall, so I cheat sometimes and cut through the whole wings. But it's 2.5 hours. So on the left, you can see what we took on February 3rd, and this is what it's going to look like at the end. So you can see here, this is Area F. This is the gym in the elementary school side. So you can see the paneling and everything that has to go in, and right now it's just bare. So, but at the end of the project, that's what it's going to look like. This is the kitchen, and the cool thing about Oculo as well, where we can overlay BIM on top of it, is you can see on the right-hand side on the actual picture, the rough-in locations that are going to be where the kitchen equipment is actually going to get the power from. So we can make sure it's all lined up and it's in the correct space. And then lastly here is Area C. This is the middle school section, the penthouse area, the 3rd floor. If you look, you can see the orange, yellow, green, and blue overhead piping going over top. If you look to the left in the real picture, you can see the exact piping exactly where it's supposed to be. So that's a cool thing that we're doing with the technology, is that we're ensuring that everything's in the right place and we're deconflicting problems beforehand, not when we're putting things up.
Yeah, we've got these catwalks in place now, and you can actually walk those. Pretty neat.
Yeah. All right, so for the project budget, as you know, it was just slightly above 130 million. The only thing that's not included, or some of the soft costs that aren't included in that cost, is the furniture, which I know Dr. Grimm is handling. He's had a lot of work on it, and he's finalizing the scope, as well as the playground equipment, which I will let Mr. Bars take over that, and Mr. Nelson talk about that as well. The off-site sewer contract, that's the one that's going from the school all the way down to 17 through the woods. We have a $2 million allowance in place, and whatever's left over from that will go back to the owner contingency. And then the off-site roadway improvement, that is the DOT road widening. DOT, or NCDOT will reimburse that once it is all complete. So from the design build contingency, we have only used 3.6%, and the owner contingency is only 9.8%. We still have some allowances that hopefully we'll have some left over, and we can give that back to the owner contingency.
Yeah, and highlighting those percentages, 55% or so on contract time standing here right now, and only using 3.6 and 9.8 puts us in a really good position, to head toward the finish line and feeling confident about the budget.
Okay, gentlemen, excuse me a moment. So what you're basically saying is our project budget, we are coming in on budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Bottom line, we are coming in on budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I know that that's not the original price tag that we had put on the bond, but I think people need to also realize that we increased the size of this school by the 10% that the design firm had already incorporated in, because I remember sitting in that design charrette and telling the designers, we need to make sure that we can increase it, and we went ahead and increased it, which is what made the project budget a little bit larger. I just wanted to explain that for anyone who might be listening, because I didn't want any misconceptions that it might be over budget or anything.
Yeah, you're right. Initially, there's 4 large classroom wings, and initially they were being designed to build additions onto each of those 4 wings into the future.
Right.
And so, the decision was made by the board, a dollar today is going to go farther than a dollar tomorrow, as we all know.
Truth.
Is to go ahead and incorporate that to maximize the student capacity of the site versus, with all the information you already knew it was going to be at full capacity by the time we opened.
Exactly.
So we pivoted during pre-construction to add that additional space. The school can't be built out any further, so it's done. When we're done, construction is done on it.
Yeah, because it would probably cost us 3 or 4 times more to do it later than it would do it now. Yeah, it makes good sense.
Well, but the constraint that we had also was the actual plot of land that we had to, that gave us a few, like I said, constraints, for lack of a better word. But, okay, thank you, I'm sorry. You can continue.
Just say it one more time. We are on budget, right?
We are on budget.
Just want to make sure everybody understands we are on budget.
I hope some fella, I can't remember what his name is, Gilligan or something like that, keeps putting stuff on the internet. Maybe it's, what's it, Gidry or something? We're on budget, sir. He keeps putting this on the internet, we're over budget, we're on budget.
Well, if we were over budget, we would be sweating because we're under a guaranteed maximum price contract.
Exactly.
So,
What he's saying is if they're over, they don't get paid.
well,
Yeah.
it gets built regardless, our
Yeah.
contract doesn't change.
Right.
So, yes, this is not a cost-plus contract.
Right.
Thank you.
Good to go. Thank you very much.
I have a
That was
question.
good timing.
Perfect timing.
I have a question. I was just curious, I know it's a forest main going out there to 17, but what size line would that be? I'm just curious.
Oh,
The sewer line that's going.
To the road.
yeah, I can't remember the exact.
I was just
size.
curious, I mean, 4 inches, 6 inches?
I think it's 4 inch.
4 inches. That seems like just thinking, that seems 2 million allowance. I know it probably won't be that, but that seems like a lot. I know how far it's going, but still.
It's a long way through very questionable.
Yeah, I know what land looks like.
It's not super
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
And, good thing about it though is the MOU between Pender County Schools and Pender County Utilities, there's a cost sharing, in that. So the school system isn't paying the entire length of the line. So.
That was it.
Any other questions? Good. Enough information, too much, scale it back next time. I'm definitely gonna put a bullet, we are
On budget.
on budget.
I appreciate y'all answering that, and we are definitely looking forward to the topping out ceremony.
Thank you.
Fingers crossed for good weather.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Pretty exciting, isn't it? It's wonderful. Yeah. So I want to invite Joe Murphy up. He is from MVP, our project management team.
Chairman Hall, board members, Dr. Breedlove, I am proud to announce we're within budget.
Can you say it louder one more
Can't say
time?
it loud enough. We do a full screen on that, do F11? Just like to point out a few things. Most of the good stuff you've already heard from the Bordeaux team. They're doing a pretty good job out there. Just a few comments from the progress so far. 19 has been reviewed and is being offered for your approval. I think we're showing the, PAP 19 is being offered for approval. We have 4 PCOs, number 70, 84, 85, and 86, that have been reviewed. When I say they've been reviewed, I mean Mr. Rose, Ron Rose, sits down and goes line item by line item through everything with the Bordeaux team. So he makes sure that that's all, proper. The project is definitely progressing per schedule. I think we have a schedule update coming out next week, I believe. We've received the updated schedule from Bordeaux, and our team is processing an evaluation of it. And yeah, that's this week we're supposed to finish it. So you should get the update on the schedule next week. Just a few milestones. The topping out ceremony on the 20th. Like you said, the CMU walls should be completed soon. I had them throw this one in this time because I think we need to have a couple of more milestones that'll give you a little better perspective of when some things are going to be happening. So achieve conditioned air. That's in about it's about a year from now. We're gonna throw a few more milestones in between that one and this one, so you can see what's going on. Some things to do with roofing, window completions, conditioned air, that sort of thing. Test and balance will start in February 2027. Substantial completion 5/24, and they're still looking for a final completion on schedule as the contractor stated. So. I want to make a couple of comments here real quick with some of the items that Bordeaux had mentioned. Very good time in the project right now as they have completed the structure and will be soon putting in windows. I believe they're putting some windows in already. Is that right? This month. This month? this month, so some windows are gonna go in. That's a great time contractually, because that locks down and prevents most of your weather delays. So from that point forward, seeing as how they've done a lot of pavement, I'll be requesting that they go back through their records and identify if there are any potential weather delays that would affect the schedule. I don't know if there are right now. It's something that we'll ask them to take a look at, but we'll be proactive in making sure that no claims such as that would be coming by surprise at the end of the project. It's okay. So one of the things we'll do. Let's see, our current RFIs, I think we have 4 outstanding. I'm sorry, go back to the previous screen. Yeah, we don't need to expand that right now. We have 4 outstanding as open, and 189 have been closed. I hope you all have visited this site, because it lets you click on a few things and expand it and see what's going on. It's pretty nice the way they've put it together. Average response time for the RFIs is 8 days. The average response time for the submittals is now 6 days. So that's definitely gotten a lot speedier than it was in the past. Submittal status, we've got 33 submittals open. 77 are in the revise and resubmit category, which means they had to go back and do some things to them and clean them up. So that'll be happening soon as well. We can go to the next slide. Page 2. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, so your current pay app, if you'll click that pay app number right there. There on the left, that column, pay apps. Click the header. There you go. There you go. There's your current pay app, $4,476,964.82. That's in review. That makes a total of $56.72 million total approved value to date. Out of a contract sum of $130 means that financially you are 44% through the guaranteed sum. Now, the reason that's different from what he said is because from a building completion percentage, he's 55% through. Financially, you're 44% through your money, and that's reflected in the contingencies that are still remaining.
So we're in good shape.
You're in great shape. I wish all projects were in this good shape. So that's the outlook right now. These 4 PCOs, I could read each and every one of these. Please don't make me. They are all 4 minor, required by code, and being paid for from contingency, so they are no additional cost to the $130 million contract. Okay, and they've been offered for review. Does anybody have any questions on them? I can go over them. I have them right here. Most of them were code requirements. I think one of them was a fire code requirement to minimize the airspace in a rated wall. That's a result of refining the design as you build it. So it's hard for a lot of people to understand how a building like this gets built. I want you to imagine if you ordered your car and they came and dumped all the parts in a pile and said, there you go, have fun. That's about what it's like. So this has to be constructed block by block, stud by stud, wire by wire, all those pipes, all that stuff has to be put in with very delicate care and according to a set of plans that is never as sufficient as you would like for it to be, but is usually what you paid to get it and is definitely sufficient to build it by. So it's an art, it really is. Any further questions?
You answered the important one at the very beginning before even having to be asked.
It really is, it really is. If you have any questions concerning the pay app, I'll be here for a little longer. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have, Mr. Mark Seitz is here
Yes, sir.
to talk about tiers. And welcome, sir.
Good evening. I wanted to talk to you tonight briefly. Let's see, where's my presentation?
Did you have a presentation, sir?
Yes, I did.
There's a executive summary on the agenda.
Should be a PowerPoint.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, that's the summary. I can talk through it. I had sent a PowerPoint over, but it's okay. Basically, my name is Mark Seitz. I'm the County Cooperative Extension Director for Pender County. I work for NC State University here in the county. And over the span of about 15 years, I've been working on some data that goes along with the state's tier status that they tag each county with. What the state does is, in calculating the tier rankings, they look at median household income, unemployment, population growth, and per capita property tax valuation as the metrics for how tier rankings are set up. They look at those factors, they rank each of the status of each of those factors. So if population growth in Pender County is 8th highest in the state, they give it a 92 index score, and all the other rankings go along with that. And then they combine those ranking values and resort by county, or 100 down to 1. And the top 100 through 81 are Tier 3 counties, 80 to 41 are Tier 2 counties, and 40 and lower are Tier 1 counties. And then the legislation mandates that those tier rankings dictate how much economic development funding is available to the various counties. Tier 3 is tagged as least economically distressed. Tier 2 is moderately distressed, and Tier 1 is severely distressed. And what I have in my graduate school work at Kansas State University, we were working with what's called county trade pull factors, which is an assessment of how sales tax revenues flow between counties. Because obviously, well, it's obvious to me, having spent many years looking at this data, household income or median household income is a static measure of what's happening within a given county. Population growth is a static measure in that county. All these metrics are static. They're looking just at the county, and it doesn't recognize the impact that money moving in and out of counties has on that county's economy. And the values that the state uses, when you look back at all the data, and I can share the spreadsheet if you want to look at it, it's probably 50 different tabs of data that I've accumulated over the years. When you look at going back to 2012, when these rankings were first established, Pender County has always been ranked Tier 3. And I've talked to people at the Commerce Department about how they come up with these metrics or come up with the data. There was a year, I don't remember what year without specifically looking at my data, but there was a year, I think it was COVID year, that New Hanover County dropped to Tier 2. And New Hanover obviously is the biggest dominant economic driver in this region. So how does New Hanover drop to Tier 2 with the standing they have in the region? It's because the state claimed it was because their unemployment rate went way up that year. And maybe it did, and then they also have told me that the reason that Pender is always Tier 3 is because of our population growth. There's a lot of counties that have strong population growth, not just Pender. And yet, 70 to 75%, maybe more, of our permanent residents leave the county every day to go to work, or to shop, or to spend money. And so that flow of revenue out of the county impacts how we, the amount of sales tax revenue that we have available to fund schools and fund development and whatever else. Along with that, being the agriculture agent in this county, I look at it from a perspective of agriculture as an industry, agriculture and timber, generate about $240 or $50 million a year in revenue. That revenue does not just sit under the mattresses and in the closets and in the pillowcases of the farmers that are generating that revenue. It's getting paid out in labor, in supplies and materials and equipment, and it flows out of the county. So what the pull factors do is look at that sales tax revenue on a per capita basis and allows, if it were implemented as part of the state legislation, it would allow a little better perspective on the impact of this money leaving Pender, or the impact that the large urban counties have on their surrounding counties. And the formulas are pretty simple. It's just a matter of mining the data, and I've got all that for all 100 counties if anybody wants to look at it. But essentially, you're taking the index value or the ranking of the pull factors and adding another factor called a trade area capture, which is once you calculate the pull factor, if it's above 1.0, it means your county is pulling money in. If it's below 1.0, you're losing money to an adjacent county. Pender County's pull factor is 0.73. So we lose about 27 cents of every dollar that permanent residents spend in retail going outside the county. In this case, it's mostly to New Hanover, some to Onslow County, some to other counties. But then we take that number and get what's called trade area capture, which is just multiplying the county's population times the pull factor. And it just gives another visual of, or calculation of what the impact is of that money leaving the county. New Hanover County's pull factor generally runs 1.4, 1.5. So they're benefiting greatly from tourism, and we benefit some from tourism, but all of that sales tax revenue it's driven by the retail strength of the county. And so part of the loss that we have is because we just don't have the restaurant base, we don't have the hotel base, we don't have the entertainment base that New Hanover does. And so obviously people are leaving the county to spend money. And then the third factor is called market share. It's just taking the trade area capture and dividing it by the state total to get a percentage of what the state, or what percentage of the state sales tax is driven by this county compared to the other 100 counties. So if you took all those metrics and added them to the state's formula, Pender County, across all the years that they've been calculating this, would never be a Tier 3 county. We would always be Tier 2. In the year of Hurricane Florence in 2018, our index ranking with pull factors dropped to 57th in the state because we lost so much business that year because the flood knocked us out. And like I said, there's a couple of years where New Hanover has dropped to Tier 2 and they should never be a Tier 2. But this is all basically speculation on my part. There's a lot of research behind it. A lot of states in the Midwest and the prairie states use this factor because the distance between population centers in the prairie states is much greater than here. So the impact of a retail center or a small town, I helped do a study looking at the impact of Walmart on the counties in Kansas, and the basic premise of that was Walmart doesn't really affect the towns where they locate. They affect the towns that are 10 or 15 or 20 miles out, because people say, I'm going into town, I'm going to go to Walmart. While I'm there, I'm going to shop in the other businesses that are there, and the small business owner in the smaller town suffers because of the migration of money. And we see the same effect here in Pender County. So, but short of a legislative change in that formula to add these pull factors, we're just unfortunately in a mechanism where the state formula drives our ranking, and I don't think the states, I know Representative Carson Smith has looked at this and introduced some legislation to try to get it changed. From what he told me, it never made it past committee, so there isn't a lot of interest at the state level to change the formula, but ultimately what this does is gives us a little more concrete look at what we know. I mean, we know that a lot of people go to Wilmington for restaurants and entertainment and other business. It just helps quantify all that. So I apologize for not having the graphs that I put together. Visually, it's a little easier to see it if you've got the graphs. But that's essentially what this is all about. And thank you, Don, for letting me come up here and share this.
Do you have those graphs where you could email them to us?
Yeah, I can email the whole presentation to you tomorrow morning when I get back to the office. So.
All right, 'cause this is a fight that we've had for years, and you are about the only person that's ever come and told us about it every time we asked, and
well, I have to tell you, since I'm in front of the microphone, this will be the last time I'm telling you because I'm getting ready to retire. And
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. But it's there's a couple people at NC State that I'm trying to twist their arms to keep these calculations going. They're pretty simple. It's just a matter of going to 3 different websites and pulling population data and sales tax revenue and doing the spreadsheet. And it's
as far as getting a tier rating changed, I know the chance of it is nearly 0, but could we do a resolution or something about that here?
Do you want to explain maybe to the public how that impacts us?
Yeah, because it's grants and it's
right.
Do you know right well from our side of it?
I don't know specifically what grants are affected. I do know the state apparently abolished the use of these tier statuses as a formal way to allocate funds, and yet there are still 10 or 11 agencies in state government that are required to look at the tier ranking before they allocate money.
So they've contradicted themselves,
Yeah.
basically.
So there's it essentially affects the rural counties more than the high end, or, you know, least distressed counties.
Right.
And, you know, as we all know, the west side of this county is much more
Totally
rural
different.
than the east side. It's harder to get funding from rural development grants when you're told, or people outside this county are told we're tier 3, that we're not distressed. We obviously have a lot of areas in this county.
But the thing is, with the school system, it doesn't matter where the school's located.
Right.
It hurts the east side as well.
Every year, you know, over the last several years, anyway, we have applied for capital needs-based grant with the state to basically build new schools and that. And each year we get denied. The money goes to tier 1 and tier 2.
Yep.
There have been districts, counties out there that have won multiple capital needs-based grants because they are tier 1. We haven't seen a dime of that money as a tier 3 system, and we have needs. So, you know, for you to stand here and say, I think some of the confusion is, how does it impact us? It impacts us every single year. And, you know, we have, the county, you know, is supporting of us when we go to apply for those. They want us to win those as well. But we will continue to apply, but the money is not, you know, there's never enough money, and so it goes to what is considered tier 1 counties, some tier 2 counties, but I'm not sure if any tier 3, there may have been a few, but we're even higher on the tier 3 list. We're not at the bottom of the tier 3 list, right?
Well, and I will say one last thing, and then get out of the way so you can move on, but even with the addition of these factors in that formula, we would fall down into a tier 2 ranking, but we're at the top edge of that tier 2. I mean, we're if the cutoff is 80, we're 77, 78, 79, you know. So we're still, obviously, we still have wealth here, but the impact is the money that's flowing out. And we just don't have the retail to capture that, the hotels, et cetera. So that's really what drives our, if those additions were made to the formula, then it would reflect that movement of money.
It just boggles my mind that New Hanover is a tier 2 with all their industry over on 421.
They were just tier 2 1 year.
Just 1 year, okay,
Yeah.
my bad. Okay.
But during COVID.
Right, okay.
And the explanation I got was because of their unemployment. And that same year, they were telling me that our tier 3 ranking was solely being driven by population growth. You know, which factor are you going to hang your hat on? So,
I mean, Dr. Breedlove gave a perfect example.
Yeah.
About this program. I mean, instead, we're left with having to do school bonds, which typically result in a tax increase. And I mean,
right.
That's something that we need to be visiting right now. But then with them, and then again, you're limited on the certain years that you can do them. So it's not as easy as it sounds, but I mean.
Even years.
Yep, even years. But I mean, that's something that we're gonna have to revisit very shortly for a high school or something like that.
And I would also add that using these pull factors, no, I lost my train of thought. The rankings for example, I think population growth in 2024, we ranked 97th or 98th in the state, just on that one metric. And, you know, that kind of pushes the perception that we are a wealthy county, and in total, we still fall down if you look at the way money moves out of the county. So, and a lot of, I know what I was gonna say, 10 to 15 counties every year, if you add these metrics, the pull factor metrics, shift tier rankings. So politically, there's 100 counties, you know, there's 10 to 15 counties that would be affected up or down, and the other 90 don't really care. So it's gonna be hard to change that formula, and so. But anyway, I will share the spreadsheet and the graphs and stuff that I have, and
Okay.
let you look at them. And
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming and sharing it. I know it's kind of an off topic for school board, but it's something that we've tried to,
Right.
I think we've done it every year since you've been here.
I honestly, I don't think I think I did this 2 or 3 years
It's been that long? I was thinking, okay, maybe COVID got in the way or some of it,
But,
but you've done it before.
yes,
For us,
I've been in front of this board and the county commissioners before.
Okay,
with this.
maybe I was thinking of theirs, but it's something that I hope continues because the public doesn't realize how it is and what this causes. I mean, you know, if we need to build a new high school for $400 million, there is a cost to that.
Right.
That's the commissioner's problem, really, with the tax rate, but I mean, all we can do is tell them what we need. But, you know, they're aware of what we need as well, and it's the same problems.
All right,
But,
well,
and the school construction, that's just one example. I mean, there's many. You could be here for 3 hours listing off things that it
yeah.
affects us with, so.
Well, and I think I shared with you in an earlier email that I could stand up here and talk about these pull factors for 3 hours, and
Right.
there's lots of things I've
Well, I
seen
think-
and learned about it, so.
I think we had a consensus to do a resolution, didn't we?
I'm good with it.
Good, all right. Is that, Brandon, do we need a vote on that, or is it, or
Once I get the resolution together, but.
we will vote on that?
Yeah, you
We
give
can do
me
it
my
next
marching
month.
orders. I know
Okay, well, if you'll get that done for us, quick as you can, we'll.
Well, thank you for your
Take that
time.
up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
sir.
Have a good evening.
Enjoy your retirement.
Yes, sir. All right. We are now down to our consent agenda. All of these items were discussed at our previous committee meeting. So does anyone have any questions or any comments about any of the above here before we move down to action?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right. Ms. Burns has made a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Reeves has seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you. All right, first item, we're now down to item 12, action agenda 12.1. Dr. Grimm again.
Hello again. So I'm just asked the board to approve the J.H. Lee change order app 12.1.
All right, do we have any questions, comments, or concerns?
I make a motion to approve the executive summary change orders.
All right, Ms. Burns has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hanson's made a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next one is approval of the MVP pay app number 5 through January 31st. Recommend approval as presented.
All right, anyone have any concerns?
That's all.
Not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve.
Mr. Reeves made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Burns seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. 12.3.
Yes, recommend approval of the board, or Bordeaux K-8 pay application number 19.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, Ms. Burns has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hanson's made a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous.
Sounds great. So I have a wonderful team that I get to oversee, and with me tonight is Bill Nelson, and Bill Nelson is going to talk about 12.4, 12.5, and 12.6. And I think you'll find them very interesting, and as he finishes up each one, I ask the board to approve as presented. All right. Mr. Nelson.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Chairman Hall, board members. I'm here to present the playground equipment for the J.H. Lee Elementary School. This is to purchase and install 2 new playgrounds at J.H. Lee Elementary School. One playground will serve grades K through 2, and the other will serve the grades 3 through 5, respectively. The playgrounds are designed as fully inclusive play environments, ensuring accessibility and meaningful engagement for all students, regardless of physical, sensory, or developmental ability. The cost for the playgrounds is $624,966.81. This comes out of the J.H. Lee, the soft cost fund for the playgrounds, which is $650,000. So we're under by $25,000 for that. So as this began, we started thinking about what we wanted to do differently with the new school. So one of the elements was going to be the playgrounds, because if you visit the schools, the elementary schools that we have now, they're not all inclusive. The mulch makes it hard for students to maneuver through. So Dr. Grimm put a panel together, a committee made of principals, assistant principals, district directors, EC directors, and Mr. Parker, our physical therapist. We went through different designs with our bars team helping us, and we finally came up with where we think we need to be. So with that, I'd like to bring up Mr. Bars, John Bars, and we have a little presentation for you to show you the elements that are involved, and he can explain them to you.
Thank you, everybody. So I think there's a fly-through that we were gonna kind of pull up. Is that what we have?
A little video you'll.
Yeah, if you don't mind. So basically what Bill has hinted on is will be your first playground that is really an all-inclusive playground for kids that have mobility devices or some kind of issue to be able to actually be with their friends on the playground and use as much. Decided the colors yet.
Color that you see here is the ocean theme. We're gonna incorporate the school board as well, just so we can have it.
So this is the older school for the, I believe this one, yeah, the 3 to 5 playground. So the pour-in-place rubber is what's really cool about the inclusivity of these things. It allows a kid to be able to transition out of the classroom and into the playground area to be with his friends as well. Kind of gives you a feel, and this is something that we can share with the committee if you need to view this on your own. So we went back and forth with the committee to kind of pick and choose some different items that they felt would be more helpful for the kids. So this is pretty much what we've ended up with. If there's any questions as we go through that I can answer, we will be the ones that will do the turnkey install of this, and we'll probably be about the last group that ends up at the school. So we'll have a concrete, I believe we've decided to do a concrete walkway around this to kind of create an access pathway instead of the curbing from the exit of the school and into the playground area. So this kind of gives you a feel for what we're going to do when it's our time to show up on the site.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
For lack, because I don't know what the correct word would be, is it heat
As
I'm
far
sorry
as
about the
the
heat
equipment
resistant.
itself,
Yes.
yes. So that's what we tried to do. It's always cheaper to incorporate shade into the structure instead of trying to do a massive shade that's going to cover the whole playground area. So the center structure with the shade that provides, I think that's a 16 by 16 shade. It has a good UV retention to help for like cancer So, and the teachers will have some spots over in the side that they could be under the shade, or if a kid wants to be away from the activities. So yeah, very good. Also trying to incorporate colors on the plastics that usually will hold heat. So staying away from the darker colors obviously would be a lot better. And also on the pour in place as well.
Yes, sir, that answers my
Okay.
question.
Anything else?
No question. All I can say is thank you.
I think what's going to happen is after this is something that you're going to see that
Oh, I'm sure.
all of your other schools are going to be interested in something like this, which would be fantastic. Because I know I've dealt with Bill for quite a long time, repairing old equipment, trying to keep your engineered wood fiber up to a spec that is allowing even somebody to get into it. And we know that engineered wood fiber with a kid in a mobility device is almost impossible to be able to transition over into a playground area.
Right, and I also thank you for bringing in everybody to have input on this. I was just looking around your shoulder to Kendi Walker back there, our EC director, and she was giving me the thumbs up. So with that, I'm going to make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Burns made a motion. Do we have a second?
Tell me about the cost of this. It's already included in the bond?
Yes, ma'am. There's a soft cost, there's a soft cost allowance for it already. There's no additional funding for it.
And how many prices did we get on this, or?
We only got the one because they're under a Sourcewell contract. So that's like a state contract.
So we only got one.
Yes, sir.
Body high.
Well, but you're also talking about specialized equipment too, gentlemen, for inclusion.
Especially
It
the
is
pour in
two
place
playgrounds,
surface.
Right? It's two.
Yes, ma'am.
So Sourcewell, just so you know, Sourcewell does all of the procurement for you, so they went out and done the pricing for you, so it's not like they're the only option. They've just satisfied their requirement to bid it out.
Right.
And this equipment is specialized and has to be certified for school systems.
Sure, I understand that, but there can't be just one person that does this.
Do we have to vote on this tonight?
What's our timeline looking like, Mr. Nelson?
I'm just afraid that we may get into 2026 pricing with it, where that's gonna increase.
We're already there, sir.
Well, he,
Yeah, we're holding that hopefully for tonight. To
2020.
answer the question about the contract, the company that we sell for, Burke, puts out they put out an RFQ to invite playground vendors to apply. And we've been approved for the Sourcewell contract that gives you a certain discount. And if you look through our breakdown, Bars Rec also throws in a discount on top of that to get the price to stay into the budget that you were looking for. So that's where we work together with the group and everybody to kind of keep this into the spot that the budget was approved.
If they're making me vote.
What kind of discount are we getting? I mean, if I might ask.
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna say it's about 45% from what the list price was.
Playground equipment is not cheap, and
It's not
especially
cheap.
whenever you
Really,
start looking at inclusive playground equipment.
Most of your money is going, and not most of it, but a good chunk of it is going into this surfacing. So the surfacing alone is about $25 a square foot. It has a stone base below it, but it also has the impact attenuation for a kid to fall, help head injuries. So that has a lot to do with what the price of this project was.
So how long can you hold this price for?
I've been told at the end of the month.
Okay. If I'm forced to vote right now, I'm gonna have to vote no.
Likewise.
So would I. But we don't want to hold this up. So you're going to have to give us about a week or two.
I think we were still working on colors and things like that to try to finalize this, because obviously this thing's not gonna get installed until 27 anyway. We were just trying to secure the price before it got increased.
I will say though, whatever we pick, the inclusive part is important. I don't think, do we have a single playground anywhere in the system that's got any inclusive stuff on it?
Not at all.
No, I know at Kiwanis Park, they do have some inclusive,
We're
playground
actually
equipment
redoing
and,
Kiwanis right now.
okay, and I know,
The project that's going on, we've taken out the old equipment and the new stuff is going in right now.
right, back in the day when, there used to be leftover money with Trillium. I was on their CFAC at one time, and whenever Trillium would have leftover money, they would go to area public playgrounds, and they would actually purchase.
Wheelchair swing.
Right, that wheelchair swings and was just one
I
of
was
them.
there during that time, I think, and
Mm-hmm. You might have been on the board when I was on the CFAC. But,
yeah, we did that across about 7 counties.
Mhm.
So,
that's when I first encountered the price of inclusive playground equipment. It is not cheap.
First round of grants 4 years ago, and they just did a round of grants, but they're not giving quite as much money as they did back in the past. So
we're not trying to hold up anybody. That's a lot of money. And it just feels rushed at the moment, but we just need to think about it and make sure that we're not leaving anything unturned here.
Absolutely.
And we're used to things coming with 3 bids. That's the other problem,
Right.
obviously. So 3 or more, but I mean,
when you get into apples to apples on a playground, that's where it gets really tricky. Also too, American made, the warranties that we provide on top of this after the fact for maintenance. That's where a lot of that comes in, that we've dealt with Bill and the school district for many years now.
Yeah, I have one question. So what school have you done that's been like 5 years old? So maybe I could go run and look at it and see how it's held up over time.
The latest one would be Surf City Elementary that we did,
Wait, you're talking the all-inclusive?
or just
Piece-
equipment in.
Just equipment in general.
Surf City Elementary would be
Yeah,
about that
I
5
think
years.
he's talking about, all the inclusive piece, like.
Yeah,
city
that
parks,
or, yeah.
So city park and rec.
City Park and Rec, Kiwanis will be done.
Yeah, but something that's older, like 4 or 5 years ago.
So Surf City would be. the
Surf
one
City
that
would
we've
be
done
closest
with
one to it.
Playgrounds that we did for you guys.
But they were not all inclusive playgrounds.
They
Yeah,
were
but it's
not.
still the same kind of equipment.
It's the same equipment.
Yeah,
it's just a
I just wanna see how it's held up over time, you know, because we live in a harsh environment here with
very
that
harsh
salt.
environment, yeah.
is there any room on there for adjustments if we wanted to add or delete anything to
Sure.
adjust the price down some? Because that may,
I think what it was basically with the committee that what they were shooting for
Okay.
with the kids. And what the initial sum of money that was given to us to say, hey, can we come up with some designs that would meet this criteria for these age groups with the inclusive ability, and here's a number.
no, y'all done a good job on the presentation and putting it together. We've just got some sticker shock going on, and we have to,
Yes, sir.
we still have a long ways to go on this bond project, and I was here at a time when we had to cut off pure buildings because we ran out of money before that.
Well,
We
and
can't,
from my perspective, Bill was like, here's our money that we have.
Right.
Let's build to what the money that we have. So that's how we do
Okay.
it right.
What is I know it's a very specific question and it can vary, but what's generally the lifespan of a playground that's like this?
So wear and tear is the biggest thing. Your surfacing is a big issue. 30 years, somewhere around there is usually about the cycle time that you're really gonna start looking at some of the equipment that's starting to deteriorate. And it also is maintenance. Poor Bill has hardly anybody that can help him take care of the playground equipment. So that's usually where it comes into play, is something's broken and it just continues to stay that way.
Yeah, agreed.
You didn't happen to do the, you probably can't remember, you didn't do the Wounded Warrior project over there in Wilmington near Laney High School, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
The only Wounded Warrior we did was over at Camp Lejeune
Okay.
at the hospital.
but we'll work this out. We just need to discuss it at a,
And if there's anything I can do to help,
no, I don't think we've got your presentation, so you won't have to drive here or anything like that we'll,
I
I'm here all the time, it seems like.
Take care of it. All right, next, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item is the gutter and downspout replacement at Cape Fear Elementary and Cape Fear Middle.
Yes, sir. This is for the gutter and downspout replacement for Cape Fear Elementary and Cape Fear Middle. This is part of our capital improvement plan. So this is the replacement of deteriorated gutters and downspouts, recommended to address ongoing drainage concerns and prevent further building damage. These improvements will enhance site drainage, protect building envelopes, and extend the service life to facilities. And as I said, this is been captured in our capital improvement plan for this year. So the cost for this was $117,700 to DL Jordan Roofing.
All right, what is the pleasure of the board?
So as we replace these gutters and stuff, are we also fixing other water issues, like the roof accepting that much water as it's coming out?
Yes,
and
sir.
Causing further erosion to either under slabs, under sidewalks? Are we making sure that is also
Yes,
being
sir.
tended to and being corrected or stabilized before water just keeps coming?
Yes, sir, because another part of the capital improvement plan is to fix the drainage on the street as well. So once these leaders and downspouts come down, we'll get the water out and
Like
over
French
to the
drains in
basin.
and
Yeah.
wrapping them and putting some stones down?
Yes, sir. And we're also replacing, the gutters that are there now are metal, steel, we're replacing them with aluminum.
All right, that's all the questions I have about it. That's all.
Do we have a motion for this?
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And motion passes. Thank you. Item 12.6 is Piedmont Natural Gas easement for Surf City Elementary and Middle. I assume this means them getting gas service to our school.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. This is similar to what we've done at
Yeah.
North Topsail and
Would anyone like to make a motion for that?
Make a motion.
All right, Mr. Spivey's made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Reeves has a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, next, continuing to work on our CIP plan, I'm going to ask Mr. Kaiser to come up. We're going to make some upgrades to our HVAC systems in a couple of our schools, and so we can come up, talk about that. Again, after each one, I ask that you approve as recommended. Thank you.
Just trying to get the blood circulate back through the legs now.
Appreciate y'all having me here tonight. I've got 3 projects that I want to review with you. The first being is is part of our strategic plan for our capital improvement plan to replace the building automation system at Topsail and Adele Elementary School. We've got 5 schools right now that have a 30-year-old plus building automation system. The issues that we're having ongoing is that all the parts are obsolete. We can't get service to them. We have multiple breakdowns. If you were to be able to buy a part, a control for it, you're looking at thousands of dollars just because they don't make them anymore. So, like I said, we have 5 schools that we're trying to work towards right now to get rid of this old system. The graphics that we see on here, it's very hard to read. It's the difference between looking at hieroglyphics compared to 3D graphics that's on the new systems out here today. It's more like looking at stick figures compared to what we have out here today so far. So we're proposing to replace that. The system that we're looking to replace it with is the Train Tracer system. It's going to give us a lot of leadway. It's going to give us the ability to not just do scheduling. It's going to give us the ability to, it has smart forward thinking. So we can set the schedules for this equipment at night. And when unoccupied times, if it needs to come on earlier because it's, it's so cold outdoors, it'll allow this equipment to come on when it needs to, not just by a set schedule. There's so many things that we can do with this. So my proposal for this is to move forward with this. This is all part of our capital plan that's already been allocated for this year, for this fiscal year. And I'd like to move forward with getting the system replaced. This will be the first of 5 systems that we're going to be looking at doing on this year, next year, and year 3. So
We're gonna make all these systems the same, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. We're trying to get one system across the board, and everything will be backwards and forward compatible, and we can just keep adding to it. So instead of having to, like down the road, when it comes time to replace, the system that we install now will still be good for future as well. So. And
All right.
that's for that one. Do you want to move on to the other one, or
We got to vote.
Yeah. And this is also part of the Omnia procurement program, where it's already been, the contractor's been pre-screened for the lowest pricing. They meet all the criteria that for the state for purchasing. And that's how we're approaching this one, to be able to work with Brady Train through this, because they provide the technical experience, the factory support that we need, and that'll be there ongoing throughout future years as well, whenever we move this system into all of our other schools. So the total pricing for this one, it come out to be $286,332. And I recommend approval from the board for this.
All right. Someone like to make a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion we approve.
All right, Mr. Reeves has made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Hanson seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Okay, the second project that we have is replacement of topside anodale chiller. The existing chiller that we have there is a 50-ton chiller. That was previously put in, it was used whenever it was installed. We originally had a 175-ton chiller there in its place. And there is another 175-ton chiller there already. So the other chiller went out, and they purchased this one used to go back in there, and it doesn't meet the criteria to give us full redundancy at that school. So what happens is that if that chiller goes down, then we don't have enough coolant to maintain the building in extreme summertime temperatures. So what we need to do with that is talking about taking that 50-ton chiller out,
Putting the 175 back.
put a 175 back in there, give us total redundancy for that school. And that this other chiller, it wasn't even set up for this type of installation to begin with. So
When was that done, sir?
it's way many years ago. I don't have the exact date for that. So
I was just thinking, like, I don't know who would take a 175 and replace it with a 50 and think it was gonna be anything other than not good enough.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that coming in front of us to buy that, so.
I think that was bought on the GSA contract, from what I understand, at that time.
One thing too about these new controls we just voted on, they're gonna pay for themselves. Cause it'll learn that building and know when to cut on, cut off.
That's correct.
Yeah, I can't believe we still have the ones that are 30 years old.
Yeah, well, we've been fighting it from the
Yeah.
time that I've been here, and we've had to have the factory reps down many times just to work on it, because no one else can work on it. And I've been told that it takes a dinosaur to work on a dinosaur, so that's the expression, so. So the total price for this is $184,483, and that's the train chiller price, including the 10 years parts warranty on it, so.
That's installed too?
That's not install price. There's a 12-week lead time for this chiller, so we're getting multiple estimates, and all the estimates that we've gotten so far are well below a purchasing threshold that we need to go ahead and make that call through our current administration. So that's kind of where we're at on that right now. So, but with it being a 12-week lead time, we're going to be getting up into the summertime months, so we need to go ahead and look at procuring this chiller now, just because of those reasons.
Anybody will have a motion for that?
Make a motion to approve the Ariandale chiller.
All right, Mr. Spivey has a motion. Anyone have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Reeves seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Next item.
Next item is going to be the CF Pope Building Automation Replacement System. This is another school where we have this 30-year-old system in place, and like I said, we're looking to remove it and get the new updated train system in there too as well. So this is steps moving forward to get us all uniform with one system across the board. So and you have to keep in mind with this installation, we have multiple buildings. We have a lot more equipment here at CF Pope, a lot more of standalone heat pump units, whatnot. So we have a lot more control capacity that we have at this school than we have in a lot of the other schools. So it's going to require a lot more integration to put in new cabling and get that cabling between the buildings. So the pricing for that comes out to be $408,225 to get
much
that.
is
And
that?
that's total. That's for the total school.
Yeah, it's a big mismatch mess out there.
It is. It is. So it's going to take a
Ms.
lot.
Hanson and I were out there. I used to be in HVAC, but yeah, it's a mismatched mess.
It is.
Bunch of pieced together mess out there.
And we've really had a lot of difficulty trying to maintain control of that building.
All right, anyone like to make this motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Ms. Hanson has made a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Appreciate
that's
your time.
unanimous.
Thank you.
Let me ask a question before you go. A few years ago, we were attempting to do a program to switch out these things on a regular, we'd fallen behind. Because I always had a problem with things that are still working being ripped out and, just summarily replaced, but
Well, I have plans for this 50-ton chiller. It's not going to just go to the wayside. We want to set it up, on a trailer. If we have an issue at another school where a chiller goes down, we are able to take this and hook it up instead of having to go out and purchase, do a rental chiller, which costs us about $15,000 a month.
perfect then.
So we're retaining the chiller, pretty much what you're
Yes.
saying, and
Yes,
if
sir.
need be, we'll utilize it elsewhere,
That's right.
within the schools.
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's great.
I feel very confident that you're on top of all
Yeah,
this.
no, I
Sir.
just,
I really do.
We'll take care of you.
We'll take care of our taxpayers.
That's
but
right.
I
yeah,
really
that's
do.
why that's why there was some hesitation up here, because these are big money items, and
I realize that. I know.
y'all don't know because you weren't here, but I think Beth can tell you, for a while, we did this at every single meeting. There was like $1 million a meeting
Yes.
in heat and air stuff.
Emergencies all the time.
Right. So,
We're tackling the things that need to be done.
so
right
you'll
now.
have your own emergency
Yes.
portable chiller.
That's right. We'll be able to just take it out and hook it up. It has all flexible piping and everything. You can set it right up and run the wiring right to it, so.
I have one more question. I know Train will start that new chiller, but do you have a maintenance department that can hook that thing up or no?
Yeah, yes, we do.
You do?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right, thank you, sir. Thank y'all.
Don, can I ask Dr. Grimm a question?
Sure.
Dr. Grimm, I have a quick question.
Yes,
I know a while back we talked about washers and dryers in our schools. Can you give us an update on that?
I can. We have, I think about 8 schools. I don't have that in front of me, but approximately 8 schools that need washers and dryers. And so Glenn put in an order. It was due in last week. So I haven't talked to him about it since that time. So I'm thinking they may be delayed, but they're due in anytime. He's got everything set up in the 8 schools where we can just install them and have those up and running. So, and we're putting in a large commercial washer and dryer at Pender High School because theirs were in very bad shape. So other than that, I think the other ones are all stackable commercial ones that he found at a really good price.
Nice,
So,
thank you.
How about speaking of the high schools at Pender, our special maintenance program we did there, has that been successful so far?
It appears to be very successful. I actually have a meeting set up this week, Don, to look at the spreadsheets with Glenn and the Chris, who's over there, and Mr. Paquette. We're going to go over that and look at what they've accomplished since he's been put out there. So that's Friday afternoon. I'll be glad to report back to you on how that's going. But I'm hearing nothing but
Well,
positives.
that was I think the board's directive was to start there and then do this for all the schools. So we need to get to work on that. There were, some schools a smaller school may share someone with, but, more of a decentralized person like that works at the school level to try to get some things caught up. So that's something can we talk about that at our next meeting as an agenda item, maybe, on how to proceed with that?
Yes, sir. We can do that.
We just, we'll have to talk to you about the money and things like that, but I think it's doable. We just need to push it along, I think. But perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, 12.10.
Good afternoon, or evening. So I bring before you the Airmark survey study that we want to send out, a student survey. We talked about it in Cal, and I know there were some questions about who we were sending the survey to. So elementary students, we will send that to parents for them to assist with filling that out. And then for middle and high, they're going to use like a QR code and send a link to principals so that the high schoolers and middle school students can take that time to do those studies in school.
Lisa, who put the survey together?
So this was the Airmark survey.
I know, but where did they put it together, or was our staff involved, or?
No, last year we did our own. And then each year they asked to do their own. In prior years, we've done theirs. So last year was the first year we did our own. So this is just their general one. If you have any questions, they're here.
No problem.
Okay. Just requesting your approval to send that out.
All right.
Make a motion to approve the survey?
Do we have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you all.
Unanimous. Lisa, did you have 1210?
I did, yes, sir.
You already, okay, we've got that. We didn't do it, correct?
We didn't do it.
Yeah, we didn't do that one.
Child nutrition items, requests
Yeah,
for
we
sale.
skipped that one.
Oh, no, that was supposed to have been amended. That was from
Okay.
last meeting.
Well, then.
We need to change the agenda.
Yeah, we have approved the agenda already, so I guess we have to have a vote to remove it, right?
I make a motion to, or can I, we have to waive. Brandis, how does this work?
Here's the deal. You don't need to take action on it, so you just vote to approve the item in front of vote, which is for you, say.
Make a
I think
mo,
their printouts are incorrect. So what's in Board Pro
It's on the screen.
is on the screen, is 1210 is the survey, so that other
It
piece
is.
is missing, so.
Yes, on ours it's here.
Printout
so
is
that's what went out to the public, not
Yeah, if
what's
this
up.
went out to the public, we've
Very
got.
good. It's
So,
good. We're
this
good.
did not.
We're good.
correct.
We're good.
Okay.
You're fine. You just move on to.
All right. All right, bus driver training resolution. Dr. Kevin Taylor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Board. I'm not usually the one standing between you and the exit door, but happened to be this time. You have in front of you a bus driver training resolution presented to you at the previous CAL. This is the updated version after Brandon reviewed a couple of times and added more specific language in for Pender County schools. Staff would recommend approval, or I'm sorry, approval of the resolution.
Do we have a motion to approve this?
Yes, I make a motion to approve this bus driver resolution.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
And all in favor of this being sent out immediately, please say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Brandon, will you take care of that for us? Yes, sir. Next item is the REACH program. This was also presented at the CAL last week, as a matter of fact. Basically, this is a grant funded program that will provide training for our counselors and social workers. You know, we often say that we do teach subjects, but we also teach children. And sometimes children come to us with extra things that have to be addressed. This adds some specific tools to our toolkits of our counselors and our social workers to be able to help that. Again, this will be reimbursements based on the schedule that you see in the executive summary. Recommendation is for approval of the reimbursement expenditures.
All right. Do we have a motion for approval for this?
I'll make a motion we approve.
All right. Mr. Reeves made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Burns has made a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that is unanimous. Item 12.14, the calendar. We've had a lot of comments about this, and I don't know how much of a presentation you can do for it. Do you have one for the,
Yeah, I can walk through.
are you going to do all of the options?
I can, Mr. Lawson, if you'll flip over to.
Well, before you do we have a consensus on any option that, or does everybody want to hear all of them?
I think in the interest of transparency, we definitely need to look at all, what were there, 5 of them? I think in the interest of transparency, we do need to look at all 5 of them because quite honestly, we've kind of hit the point of no return as to send this to it. I mean, this was, staff helped us out with this, but I think we've hit the point of no return as far as sending it out for a survey or anything like that. But I will tell you that there has been a lot of comments, parent comments that have been incorporated into this.
I agree with Ms. Burns. I think we need to go through all of them.
All right.
So, hopefully everybody can see this at home as well. There are 5 drafts that are created here. They're tabbed onto this document. Thank you to Fallon Fuller for helping us navigate through this. This is not an easy task. When you deal with calendar law, there are certain parameters that you have to stay within. All 5 options do meet calendar law. I'm not going to.
Can you explain what calendar law says to those that may
Yes, Fallon, please join me upstage.
She's the expert.
Basics, but you know about great detail.
So calendar law says you have to go 185 days. Pender County does hours, so we do 1,025. We're actually over that amount. That's why we have bank days that Dr. Taylor will talk about. The full calendar itself has to have 215 days. So that does include 10 minimum annual vacation leave and 11 holidays that is mandated by the state. Yes. And then Kevin's going to talk about how many, you have to have at least 2 optional work days for staff to have a choice to work or not work. And that's also met in all 5 drafts as well.
Sure.
While you're there.
Yes.
Can you tell us, we have one year-round school in this county.
Yes.
Can you tell us what laws govern their calendar?
Yes, so for our year-round school, they have to go between 43 and 47 days for instruction. And then after that, they have to have a break, a vacation break between 14 days and 18 days. So Penderley does the 43, and then they do the 14 days for the break. So we have to follow those days consecutively in order for it to meet calendar law for year-round. And then early college, we all know follows Cape Fear's calendar.
That's an important consideration. All these calendars fall in line with the current Cape Fear Community College spring break. In order for us to have it match up with Pender Lee's spring break for our traditional school calendars, it would not allow us to have the Cape Fear Community College spring break. So it's a choice that the board has to make in terms of which one it needs to align with. All the calendars either start on August 24th, based on calendar law. It has to be the Monday closest to the 26th. Option 1 starts on the 26th itself. The rest of them start on the 24th. For draft 1, draft 2, those 2 calendars have the start of winter break as the 23rd of December. Option 5 has it the 21st of December. The other notable changes in this are the end dates, which is on line 20. June 4th, May 27th, May 28th, and June 2nd, respectively. When you look at instructional hours, we have 1,087 in point 5 in draft 5, the same amount of instructional time in draft 4. Draft 3 is 1,068. Obviously, drafts 1 and draft 2 have a larger number of instructional hours built in. Draft at the very bottom, the work days. In order for grading and changing of semesters and things of that nature, we have to build in some work days during the school year. Most of them are hovering around 6 to 7 work days throughout the calendar year, excluding the beginning and end of the calendar year. The only one with more is draft 2. As Ms. Fuller said, the holidays and vacation days are built in as 10 and 11 across the board. I can go on for hours and hours, but that gives you the gist of it, so.
Drafts 1 and 2 is testing in January.
Yes.
And then drafts 3, 4, and 5 are testing in December.
Thank you.
It's no negotiation, right, as far as annual leave days? Just want to make sure the public understands, annual leave days and the holidays, there is no negotiation on that whatsoever.
Correct.
Yep.
That's set by calendar law. I will draw your attention to also the,
I just want to say the 10 days that we use are 5 for spring break, and then the other 5 are typically at Christmas break.
Yeah.
Depending on where Christmas falls, sometimes we can take an annual leave day and make it the day before Thanksgiving.
would like to draw your attention to one more thing, two more things. Number of bank days. Usually it's around when the calendars are testing in December. Our bank days kind of go down a little bit, as you can tell on drafts 3, 4, and 5. How many more days, the imbalance of the semesters for drafts 1 and 2, which have testing in January, as Ms. Fuller said. These individual calendars have a very balanced semester 1 and semester 2. 3 days difference and 0 days difference. When you get into drafts 3, 4, and 5, you start getting into 13, 12, and Ms. Fuller, what is that number? That one will be 16 for draft 5.
16 less calendar day, 16 less instructional days in the fall.
Yes, sir.
Versus the spring.
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. So we're expecting a child in physics or whatever to have 16 and less instructional days in the fall than they do in the spring. So that teacher's got to try to cram all that curriculum in there. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Fantastic. It's just for a couple weeks of working and scooping ice cream. I just don't understand. How can less instructional days be better for a child? I just don't understand.
Ms. Fuller and I are happy to answer any other questions that you have. Some of them we can answer off the cuff, and some of them we may have to dig a little bit, but we'll get them to you.
Well, I think it would be self-explanatory, but can you please someone explain why we need banked days?
Yeah, we need bank days for hurricanes. You guys can remember those, and
Last week?
this past week, we do also have 5 virtual days built into our calendar. That is part of a general statute that is now embedded within the calendar law. Correct?
Say that
Brandon?
again?
The
5 remote days.
5 remote days.
You're not on, if you needed them.
It was a general statute that got embedded in the calendar, I think.
And we also are required to have a remote learning plan on top of that. So we submit a remote learning plan because the general statute allows for 5 remote days when needed. But you can't go beyond that.
Mr. Taylor is exactly right. You have to have the ability to have remote instruction. Now, I will tell you, there are superintendents in the state right now, in the western half of the state specifically, who are lobbying to have more remote instruction days inserted into this particular calendar or future calendars. So, remote instruction became a reality during COVID, and it doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon.
Yep. Our current calendar had 6 bank days. We've used 2 of those essentially, so we're down to 4. We used 3 virtual learning days during the snow event that we had last week.
So,
We have 2 virtual days left and 4 bank days.
And once you run out of days, you have to start making up that time by extending the school day or taking days that were either work days away or vacation days like spring break.
or having school on Saturdays like we did after Hurricane Florence.
Did that?
Yes, that's the other option.
Brandon, could you tell everybody the mandated start and end, earliest and latest start and end dates?
Absolutely. So if you look at North Carolina General Statute 115C 40, or 84.2 subsection D, the opening date for students shall be no earlier than the Monday closest to August 26th, and the closing date for students shall be no later than the Friday closest to June 11.
So what we could essentially do, I believe in December testing if the calendar's balanced. I don't think you should go off on Christmas break and then come back and take exams. I don't believe that. But if we really wanted to, we could put those 2 weeks that I wrote that other calendar, by the way, in case everybody hadn't figured that out yet. We could put those dates on the end and make them go to school all the way to June 11th if we really wanted to, with January testing, if we really wanted to. All I was trying to do was start 2 weeks early so we wouldn't have to go to that and get a balanced calendar with the same amount of days here, teacher work days spread throughout, and say teacher work days spread throughout here, and get out of school on May 22nd. But if we really wanted to, we could go all the way to the January testing, and then push this out and make them go to school to June 11th. So it's 2 weeks on the front end or 2 weeks on the back end. But I guess we're not going to do that now either. We're just going to go ahead and give in, let them have less instructional days, have an unbalanced calendar, and make everybody happy but me. or whoever, I don't know. I'm disgusted about the whole thing. I just can't believe that 2 weeks in August would make that much difference for a kid working, scooping ice cream, or, you know, or a job, not in restaurants. I'm not just saying scooping ice cream. I just think a child's education is more important than that, and to have the same amount of instructional days for a kid who's taking physics in the fall, have the same opportunity as in the spring. And I've talked to teachers at the high school, and they said they can't cram that in there in that short amount of time. They do it, but they just can't do it. And the other thing, I heard a guy comment on the call in, he don't know what he's talking about. This is not putting more days on teachers the way I wrote that calendar. They still have the same amount of days, and they have to work 215 anyway, is that correct? Yes, sir. They have to be there 215 anyway. It didn't put any more days on them. It just started school 2 weeks early. Breaking catalog. One more thing I gotta say. 37 districts in the state starts December testing. 37 districts do December testing. 25 of those 37 are breaking calendar law to achieve a balanced schedule. So now what we're gonna do is 90%, New Hanover County, all these counties have January testing. Now we're gonna do December testing, and now we're gonna be 90% do it like that. Now we're gonna be in the bottom 10%. Because if you take 37 from 25, that equals 12, and that's close to 10%. Does that make any sense? I'm just thoroughly disgusted over this. That 2 weeks is that big of a deal to have a balanced calendar with teachers having work days spread throughout. So that's it.
Well, I'm gonna address this because, Mr. Hall and I have been on the board for quite some time, and this is not the first time that we have seen, this calendar request. It failed to pass, 2 years ago? And my philosophy on this is still the same that I had back then. I think as a board, we need to look at things very, very carefully before we decide to break a law, any law. And I believe that if we were going to break the law, this would be the one that we probably should break, but it still doesn't justify breaking a law to me. And all I will say is that I can understand the superintendent, we hired him to fix problems for us. We had a problem with an unbalanced semesters, and he did his very best to try to figure it out, but at the end of the day, if we are going to balance semesters, we are going to have to break the law. And I guess it goes back to me to the oath that we took up here, not to break the law, because that's part of the ethics oath that we took. And I just simply can't do it. Now, what I would love to do is try to make some more legislative visits up to Raleigh and see if we can push something that way. And I believe we need to go up to Raleigh more. I think we need to talk to our state representatives more, because if they don't hear what you want, there's no way they can give it to you. I think there's other ways that we might be able to move this needle, but right now it is stuck. And for me, I guess you guys have already probably figured out that I can't vote for something that's illegal. So there's my take on it.
Okay, well, I'll silence the elephant in the room. We gotta make a decision.
We do.
Got 5 options.
We do.
Can't break the law, you're exactly right, ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, which decision are we gonna go with? Okay, what do we think about option 5?
Every one of these meet calendar law in every way, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But the first two have January testing.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Rolling right out of Christmas into January, we're gonna go straight to testing.
I feel like, personally, I feel like option 5 is closest to what we currently have. I mean, based on, if I'm reading that correctly. Is that correct? Kind of close to what currently we have?
And that's August 24th as well, right? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
And getting out, June 2nd.
All right, so we get it later August. We don't have testing right after Christmas. We change some stuff there. I'm gonna say option 5.
Five.
Okay.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
I will. I will make the motion that we go with option 5 for the 26-27 Pender County School calendar.
All right.
With a reservation, I want to make it clear, this will not allow Pender Lee School to have spring break overlapping. That is very important to me, that everybody knows that I have very serious concerns about that, because that is important to me, because my children went to school there. But for the options presented, that's the best option we got, in my opinion.
Agreed. I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second for option 5. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Just so we have a unified board, I'll say aye too.
All right. Unanimous, thank you.
I want to make one thing crystal clear. None of these calendars would allow Pender Lee, correct?
Correct.
To overlap.
And the issue with that, if I can take two seconds.
I would love that, because
Cape Fear, we want to align, these calendars currently align to Cape Fear Community College's spring break, which is the first week of March. In order for the 45 days, or 43 days to take place and the 2-week, not vacation, 2-week intercession, the math doesn't work out.
Even if Pender Lee started a week before, it would still be a week short of spring break.
Right.
just
It's
want-
not possible.
I appreciate that. I just want my Pender Lee folks to know that I did not forget about you.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We are down to comments from board members. I don't have any, other than to say we appreciate everybody coming out today to see us. Our meeting has been a little bit longer than normal. And thank you to staff for helping us to work through this calendar stuff. And that's all I've got. Ms. Burns?
Okay, first of all, I know that we beat that Tier 3 rating to death, so I'm just going to beat it some more. I feel that the rating scale that they're using is faulty, and it has hurt us. It's hurt us from getting money that could potentially be used for new schools, and heaven knows we need those. So I agree. I'm glad that it came up that we were going to do a resolution on this for next month, and I'm grateful to the board for agreeing to that. Also, just wanted to throw out there, Dr. Breedlove and our CTE director, Mr. Bates, you presented at the NC Board of Education, correct? And I just wanted to give a shout out to you two. It was a great presentation. I think you even took a student with you, if I'm not mistaken.
We had a student that joined us virtually.
Yes.
Ma'am.
And,
John.
okay, well, like I said, it's always, anytime, oh, there you are, Mr. Bates, hey. Just wanted to say how proud we were of our CTE program. Mr. Bates, you have done a wonderful job for us. I don't believe you're second in the state. I still say you're number 1, but I'm just saying. But anyway, I wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and honestly, I'd like to thank everybody who sent us emails about this calendar, giving us input on it. It's what we needed. So I'll close out with that, and thank you very much.
All right. Ms. Hanson?
I'd too like to say thanks to all the public for reaching out to us with your emails, and if I didn't get back to you, I'm so sorry. I took yesterday to go visit my dad. He's 88 with Parkinson's, and so. Anyway, we got emails from both sides wanting all kinds of things. But I also want to thank the Pender High School staff for having Mr. Reeves and I. Mr. Reeves, I won't take any of your thunder over there. For instructional rounds, and they gave us a good window into some classroom management techniques that we saw for cell phone use and AirPods and all digital devices, which I was really happy to see. And we just had a great time, and we appreciate them inviting us. So that's it.
All right. Mr. Reeves?
Like Ms. Hanson said, I enjoyed instructional days. Pender, going into the classroom, seeing the teachers work and seeing the students learning is great. They feed us a great lunch out there. For all you other principals, and they gave us a little gift too.
They did.
We're going to, Monday, we're going to
Back to Pender High.
back to Pender High, and then we're going to Topsail and Adele next week also. I just love going to instructional days. It's one of my favorite times besides graduation. Airmark, again, thank you for coming out. Great, thank you for the good food and everything y'all do. Dr. Grimm, he's and his staff, I mean, I just feel really good about the presentation, especially on the HVA stuff, HVA equipment and things that are going in and the controls. And that's about it. Thank you.
My turn.
Yes, sir.
Kind of just caveat of what everybody else up here said. Thank y'all for coming tonight. I know we all work and get home a little late because of the meetings. Decisions were made. Sometimes they're tough, sometimes they're easy. Understand you're not gonna appease everybody, that's just part of life. We do our best with what we have. Staff does the best job they can do. They do a good job for us. We did hear your concerns. We heard your comments. I'm sorry if I didn't email every one of you back. I can't be like our chairman, Mr. Hall here. He was steadily at it, but I did email some of you back and we did hear you, so we appreciate you.
Mr. McPherson?
No comments this evening, Mr. Chair.
All right. Thank you to everyone for coming and for all those watching. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn, sir.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That is unanimous. Thank you.